Hating yourself can be a really annoying and hard, difficult thing. So, Science Meets Psychology presents 5 steps on how to stop hating yourself. Now, these steps won't make you stop hating yourself entirely, but it will probably help. That is, if you do them often enough. So, here are the 5 steps you take. Step 1, accepting yourself for who you are. I'm not saying to not change the way you look to match your insides. I'm basically saying that you got to accept yourself and understand and accept your issues and accept your weaknesses and strengths and just accept who you are. And that's the first step to changing. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses, basically, is what I'm saying. And accept your flaws, accept yourself. If there's something's wrong with you, everyone has some flaws, and you gotta learn to accept it. The next step is positive self-talk. Now, this is way easier said than done. I even have a hard time doing it. But you just got to, if you have low self-esteem and if you hate yourself, then you're most likely you talk to yourself negatively and you criticize yourself, and it's like you're constantly in an abusive relationship with yourself, and it's basically like bullying yourself. I do this too. A lot of people do it. It does not make you a bad person. And what you need to do to combat it is to try to change it to positive things. It's gonna take a lot of hard work and some time, but in the end, it might help. It probably will help, but you have to put a lot of effort in it, and you have to be willing to get better. So start by saying positive things to yourself in the mirror, like affirmations. Say something like, I'm strong, I'm worthy, I have been through a lot and I can go through more, and I'll still stay strong. Say that kind of stuff. Don't set unrealistic goals, The next step is setting realistic goals. Now, like I said in the past step, don't set unrealistic goals. And that kind of relates to setting realistic goals, because when you set unrealistic goals and you don't meet them, then it's going to make you feel worse. If you say, my goal is to get the best scores on the test in the class every single time we have a test. Now, that's not really realistic. Of course you're going to have some slip-ups, and everyone has slip-ups sometimes, but that's not really realistic. And when you end up not being the best in class, then you're gonna feel worse about it, and you're gonna be hard on yourself for it. But maybe you should say, I strive to have or a goal, I strive to get 100% on this test, or I strive to get an A, instead of being I strive to be the best in the class every single time. Maybe you can just set a goal that's more I want an A on this test, and my goal is to study and study until I eventually can get an A on a test. The last step is stop comparing yourself to others. This is also easier said than done, because, well, even I compare myself to others. Nobody's perfect. We've all done it before. But comparing yourself to others is kind of bad, because when you compare yourself to somebody who has more than you, or somebody who is better than you, it's not a race technically, but if you compare yourself to someone in your eyes, who is better than you, then it's going to lower your self-worth. And you're basically going to be I'm not good enough. And comparing yourself to people who are not better than you isn't really helpful either, because it just makes you think lowly of others. And comparing yourself to people who are in a worse place than you is more is fake self-esteem. It's lifting you up, but not because you're happy with yourself. It's lifting you up because you're happy with what you don't you don't want to be a certain way, and you're happy you aren't that certain way. So it's more about being happy with yourself than being happy about someone else or having something. And that was the video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's a really short video, but I can think of more, so I might do a part 2 of this. Who knows? Maybe if you guys request it in the comments, I'll do a part 2. Also, guys, in the comments, request what other videos I should do. I know I've been focusing more on depression and self-esteem, because those are the more subjects I know more about. But yeah, I don't really want to stir too deep in other mental illnesses like PTSD and bipolar and stuff, because I don't really know too much about that stuff because I have not experienced it, but I will talk about what I have experienced and some other things. So let me know in the comments what type of video you want to see from me next.